So finding a position in the chair that feels comfortable to you. Lengthening up through the back of the spine. Just drop out of that head space and into the heart space. Letting the chitter chatter of the morning settle around us. As we soften the eyes and the jaw and the breath. Allowing it to lengthen and expand. Take a quick scan of the body and the mind and the heart. Allowing your attention to roam in and around each and every body part, and notice where there may be some tension living. Taking note and bearing witness to that tension. Remembering that tension is really just a call for our attention. And as you breathe into the moment, go ahead and call in any intentions you might have for today's practice into the heart space. And just as you inhale that intention inward, exhale it outward so that it does not become expectation. And to open today's practice, we will shift onto the front part of our chair, placing our feet firmly on the ground, really feeling the earth beneath our feet. Placing the palms on the knees. We're just going to start our thoracic spine breath as we breathe, arching that sternum forward, shoulders down, head right on the spine. Exhale as we arch back, tilting the pelvis and creating a C with the spine. Moving at our own speed, our own pace, and coordinating the movement with the body. Inhaling forward and exhaling backward. Always through the nose. We're creating supple, youthful spines. Moving at your own pace and remembering that the faster the breath and body move together, the more heat you generate. It's kind of seated cat-cow, if you will. And just so you can see from a side view, the movement. There are no droopy heads here. The movement comes from this sternum, this part of the back here. And this kind of tilting of the pelvis. And as we get warmed up, let's add another layer to that, creating circles with our spine as we inhale forward and exhale backwards. Isolating the spine, keeping the head right on top of the spine. You guys look great. Wherever you notice tension, just move a little slower through that little spot, allowing it to release. And then coming to center, let's reverse those circles now. Always moving with the breath as we inhale forward and exhale back. And then coming to center, let's go ahead and warm up our necks a little bit. And I'm going to give you a different breath work than we've done before. This is a release breath work. It's really rooted in the stomach. So it has a lot to do with detox and acceptance. On an emotional level, it's acceptance. And on a physical level, it's activating the stomach. And what I've noticed about this breath work is that it really activates the core in a way that other breath work might not. And so as we sit up nice and tall, I'll demonstrate first so that you can then do it. We're just going to breathe in through the nose. And then the exhale is like the sound of a snake. So my lips are just barely parted and the jaw is loose. It's gentle. It's not clenched together. And you're just going to make this movement with the mouth. Let the breath come through the lips and through the teeth like the sound of air escaping a tire or of a snake or something like that. And so as we breathe in, we're going to breathe in, sitting up nice and tall. And then we're going to exhale. Over to one side. And then inhale to forward. And exhale to the other side. As you do this at your own pace, let it be as long or as short as you wish. And notice the way that sound automatically activates this lower abdomen and presses that belly button back towards the spine, creating strength in the core as we lengthen through the back neck. One more cycle on each side. And then coming back to center, we're going to just draw little spirals with the nose as we continue to warm up the neck. Allow that spiral to grow in size. And allow the body to pause wherever there might be some tension. Being very careful and kind with the neck, never crunching the neck back like that, keeping it nice and tall, crown facing the ceiling. And then you can reverse that, going from bigger to smaller circles. Because the neck and the shoulders are so very connected, we're going to go ahead and warm up our shoulders before we do the isometric work. So take the backs of the palms and place them in the crease of the hips here, sitting up nice and tall. I'm going to take an inhale. We're going to really try to lengthen and straighten those elbows as we push those shoulders up by our ears. Inhaling, inhaling, inhaling. And when we're ready to exhale, let it come out the mouth. Let it be a release as the shoulders come down. We're going to do that 2 more times. Up, up, up. Inhaling all the way up. And 1 more time. Let's go ahead and place those palms on the shoulders here. And we're going to do some shoulder rollings, kissing those elbows in the front, inhaling them up by the ears and really trying to meet the shoulder blades in the back. Inhale on the up swoop. Exhale on the down swoop. Guiding the breath through the nose now. Inhale and exhale. And then go ahead and reverse it whenever you're ready. Moving backwards. And then exhaling forward. Keep on going. 2 more rounds. And then bring the hands down. Shake out the arms. And we're ready for our isometrics. So we're going to do some isometric work with the head, but we're also going to do it with the hands, okay? And the shoulders and the arms. We're going to do a bunch of that work here. And then we're going to come to standing and work on strengthening and balance, okay? So first things first, let's just inhale the chin, inhale the spine and lengthen up through the back of the neck, sitting up nice and tall, activating the core. And then just exhale, normal exhale, that chin over to the shoulder. And then inhale forward whenever you're ready, really just listening to the breath. Bring that right palm up to the side of the face and create a resistance there. Pushing the face against the palm, pushing the palm against the face. Really try to move that chin over to the shoulder. The hand won't let it happen. As you exhale, and when you're ready to inhale, drop the hand. Inhale, lengthening up through the back of the spine. And exhale, swivel the chin over. You should feel a nice release there. Coming back to center. Nice long inhale, and we're going to swivel the chin to the other side now. Exhaling over to the side. And then inhaling forward, bring that left hand up to the side of the cheek. Create that resistance as you push against the palm and the palm pushes against the face, and you try your darndest to get that chin over your shoulder as you exhale all the air. And when you're ready to inhale, drop the hand. Inhale and lengthen up through the back of the neck. And when you're ready to exhale, exhale the chin over and notice the release that that gave you. Okay, go ahead and come back to center. Roll out those shoulders. You can reverse the roll whenever you're ready. Find what feels good to you. If that means pausing in a moment, then by all means do that. Okay, coming back to center now. We're going to create a wider stance with our knees, and we're going to dig into this side body here, okay? If you have a tender lower back, I want you to really pay attention to how this feels when you're doing this, okay? So if it hurts, don't do it. Yoga should not hurt, okay? So it's really up to you to listen to your body. As you open and widen the stance here, we're gonna do that lateral stretch that we always do, taking the left elbow to the left knee and making sure that our sternum is really facing forward. We're gonna take that right arm and reach over to the side. So now I'll come to the front so you can see what that looks like. Okay, notice that I'm not doing this. If my body is trying to roll forward, I'm going a little bit beyond my limit. And so I should try to come up just a tad, okay? Really feel that gaze up at the hand and play with the head here. Go ahead and gaze down at the knee. Notice the difference in the sensations and find what feels good. All of our bodies carry tension in different areas. It's up to us to listen. And then bringing that arm down, use the elbow to push yourself back up to a seated position. Do any rolling that you might need to do here. And then we're going to go to the other side. So placing the elbow, in my case it's the right one, on that right knee, checking to make sure your chest is fully forward, okay? Only then will you reach that arm up. And again, drop that shoulder back onto the spine so that you're not rolling forward, okay? Really push that chest out so that you're lengthening through the side body. You can play with the head here. Test it, look down at your knee. Gaze up at your elbow. Make sure both sits bones are reaching for the chair here. Nothing's lifting up off the chair. And whenever you're ready, go ahead and lower that arm and come back up to sitting. Let's run those legs back to center. Give yourself a little pat down. And then whenever you're ready, we're going to come to standing. I know everybody teaches standing differently, and for those of you who are new to my classes, I do it differently. I do it on an inhale, not on an exhale. And part of that is because I just know from being a ballerina that you get more height when you inhale, not when you exhale. So exhale all the air before you push the ground away from the body. And on an inhale, push through the heels as you come to standing. And then we're going to come around to the side of our chair. Okay, so I want us to have the chair so that the back of the chair is to us, to the side of the body. Okay. Now you remember this balance, the tightrope walker that we've done before, where you take one leg in front of the other. I'm going to do a series of different balances today, okay? So that we build upon from easier to a little bit more difficult to a little bit more difficult. And we're going to combine that with some strengthening exercises. So to begin, let's just stand in mountain pose. First things first. Find mountain pose. Make sure your legs are about fist width apart. You could fit a fist between your toes. Okay, they're not quite hip widths apart. Okay, a little bit less. Really feel your body pushing the ground away from you. Notice the way the toes are anchored and rooted to the earth. How you can feel that equal weight distribution across the bridge of the toes and the heels. Activate the legs and the pelvic floor. And just take a breath here as you find stability in this posture. And then as we begin to shift the weight, let's go ahead and take one foot in front of the other so that we're walking the tightrope. My heel is right in front of the back toe. So I'm creating a line with my feet. And as I do this, flex those knees just a little bit. And whenever you're ready, push the floor away from the body. You'll notice that that activates this inner thigh, the pelvic floor, so that you're lifting, not just standing, okay? Then you can bring the hands to prayer pose here if you want to, as you find balance in this very simple asana that is not necessarily easy. Simple doesn't necessarily mean easy. It means not complex. Take one more long inhale and exhale here. And whenever you're ready, come out of the mudra, come out of the asana, shake the legs. Okay. Now the next one is dynamic, and I'm going to show it to you before we do it, okay? So it's a combination of two asanas that are meant to strengthen and lengthen, okay? And the chair is there to help you. And so now that we already know how to get balanced on our standing leg, instead of doing the tree pose, which we often do, we're going to do a pose where we raise the front leg just a little bit, okay? And then when we're ready, we push that leg through and back. And we push into the heel so that we're placing the heel on the ground, okay? This is not a full lunge by any means. It's a very light movement. So this could be like this, okay? It doesn't need to be long and big. You don't need to have your knee at a 90-degree angle. It could be something as subtle as this, where you just barely lift that leg off the front and then sweep it through and push through the heel. And then bring it to the front, and then flex the standing leg and bring through and push through the heel, okay? I'm gonna do it 4 times on each leg. So, standing tall, find your balance on your legs, shift the weight to the standing leg without sitting in it, lifting up, pushing the floor away from you, lift the right leg or the leg that's furthest away from the chair, wherever you're at, and sweep it through and push through the heel. And then push off that back leg and swing the leg through and take it back and push through the heel. 2 more times. Inhaling that leg forward and flexing the standing leg and pushing through the heel. We're lengthening that calf muscle behind the knee, taking the stress off the knees. And last time. And sweep it through, press through the heel. Go ahead and straighten the standing leg now so that both legs are straight, and that'll allow you to bend the back leg and push off it in order to come to standing. Now shake out those legs because your standing leg should be burning by now. We just created some muscle there. Now we're going to change the chair to the other side because we're going to do the same thing on the other leg, okay? Everybody feel okay so far? I need a thumbs up. Okay, good. All right, so again, coming to that mountain pose, feeling the feet on the ground, check the distribution of the weight, and as you shift the weight onto the standing leg, which is closest to chair, make sure you're not sitting into the hip here, lift up through the hip, push the ground away from you, and we're gonna go ahead and lift the left leg to the front, sweep it through as we flex our standing leg and press through that heel. Hips are completely forward here. Pushing off the back leg, coming forward, and sweeping it through and pressing that heel back. Keep your hips forward here so that you're not doing this. You really want to make sure that you're keeping those headlights facing the front and pushing through. You should feel this behind the knee. And last time, up and sweep it through and come back. Okay, let's go ahead and straighten that front leg and then bend the back leg just enough to push off of it and come to standing. Shake out those legs. Okay, you guys are doing great. Okay, let me look at my notes real quick. Okay. So the next one we're going to do is, again, instead of working the psoas so much today, we're going to just try to work more of this side body, okay? So we're going to do a triangle stretch. So here we are. I want you to take a very wide stance here with the chair to your side. And then the foot that's closest to the back of the chair, you can go ahead and swivel your toes around so that they're underneath the chair, okay? And then flex that knee. And then go ahead and add the other element. Okay? So you should feel it here in this hip area, in this inner thigh region. Okay? And now, here in this position, you should feel it here as well. I want you to just straighten that front flexed leg. And if you want to add another element, you can reach that hand towards the foot, or you can put it on the chair, or you can reach it and you just hang out on the chair there. Whatever feels good to you. Gaze up at that palm that's reaching for the ceiling and flex that front leg just a little bit. And then straighten it. And then flex it. And then straighten it. And go ahead and drop that arm. Bring the torso back up to standing. Swivel those toes around so that they're facing forward. And scissor the legs closed. Okay? We have to do the other side now. So switching my chair back around. Again, going to open the stance. Hips and toes are facing forward here. I'm going to take the foot that's closest to the chair and rock back on my heel and swivel the toes so that they're pointing underneath the seat of the chair. And then once I do that, I'm going to flex that leg slightly. Knee in line with the heel. And then adding another element, I'm going to reach up and over. Really feeling it here in the side body as I lengthen. Gaze up at the palm or the elbow. And then straighten that bent leg now so that both legs are straight. And let that hand either hang down by the knee as you deepen the lateral stretch. You can also place it on the chair, on the seat of the chair. Gaze up at that palm. We'll make it dynamic now. Flex that front leg. And then straighten it. And flex it. And straighten it. And one more time. And straighten it. Very good. Drop that arm and go ahead and come up to standing. Bring the toes so that they're facing forward and then scissor the feet together, okay? Shake those legs out. Okay, very good. So we're going to come back around to our chair now and work on seated chair. So we're going to do our very typical where we pretend to sit 3 times. And I'm going to let you choose to add an extra element if you want to challenge yourself today. What we'll do is when we inhale, we'll inhale and rise up on the balls of the feet if we want to. And when we exhale, we'll come in to a W, okay? Now when we do this, I want you to imagine that you're swaddled to a board so that this whole back from the tip of my head to my coccyx is one long streak, as if there's an arrow through the center of the body, okay? So I'm not doing this, okay? And I'm also not doing this, all right? It's one long piece, okay? So we're gonna do 3 of these, and on the 4th one, we're actually gonna sit, okay? If you don't want to do the rise up on the tippy toes onto the ball of the foot, you don't have to, you just stand there, okay? Inhaling up. And exhale, roll through the feet, Reach the sits bones for the chair. Arms are in a W. And inhale up, push the ground away from the body. Rise up if you wish to. And exhale, roll through the foot. Flexing the knees, reaching the sit bones for the chair. Straight backs. And up. And last one. Roll through the feet. Exhale the sit bones towards the chair. And finally, come to sitting. Okay. Very nice. Okay. So we're going to come back to our arms now. And that same isometric work that we do with the chin, we're going to try it with our arms. Okay, and see the difference. Because we carry a lot of tension here in this area and in the shoulders. And sometimes we can, that works into this whole area. That's the carpal tunnel. It comes through the wrist, usually gets tight here in the elbow and then in the shoulder. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our right hand and press on the top of our wrist. Okay, and we're going to resist the pressure of the arm so that it doesn't let the arm fall. Okay, so I'm pushing, my left arm is pushing up and my right arm is pushing down, and they're at odds with each other. Okay, let it go and then swing it out. And then come back to the point. Now we're going to press on this part here. Really press down on the top of that elbow. Resist it, resist it, resist it. And drop it down. And let's do the other side now. Hand, press against that hand, resist that pressure. Feel it waking up all of the muscles in the arm. In order to do this, we have to activate our core, so you must be sitting up nice and tall and squeezing that belly button back towards the spine. And exhale. Let it sway. And next one, go ahead and place the fingers on top of that elbow there. Resist the pressure as you sit up nice and tall and press that arm. And drop the arm down, take a deep breath. And let's go ahead and cross those arms now. Let's do a few of these swings first, right on top. Actually, let's give ourselves a little smack on the shoulders there. As we come in, crisscrossing the arms right on top and then left on top. Just do a few of those. We're still sitting up nice and tall. And then on the next one, stop as you move the arms at the crease of the elbow. We're going to fold those arms in and twist them so that we can attempt to reach for our palms. Okay? Garuda Mudra. This is the eagle pose. So sitting up nice and tall. You can play with this. Notice the difference is if you lower those elbows all the way down, squeezing those elbows into the chest as you lift up through the back neck. And notice the difference if you attempt to raise those elbows slightly what happens in the body. Take 3 long breaths here. And let each exhale be a release. Go ahead and unravel the arms. Let's do a few rowing motions with the shoulders here. And come back to our little smacky hugs. There's no good name for this. Kind of made it up. And whenever you're ready, cross that left arm at the elbow, flex the elbows as you attempt to reach for the palms. Now, if this is where you're at, that is perfect, okay? We're reaching for this, okay? Now, it's okay, you'll get there, all right? Go ahead and rest at your limit and watch as it expands. And then play with this. Squeeze those elbows down towards the chest. Notice the difference if you raise the elbows just a centimeter or two. One more long inhale and exhale here. And slowly unravel the arms. You can give yourself a hug if you need to. And roll those shoulders out. Whatever feels good for you. Okay. Okay. I want to be able to do some hands and also, Kay, I don't know if you're still interested in face yoga, but I learned a new face yoga. So we could add that one in there today. Let's see, is there anything else that you want us to get to before we close the practice today? Feel free to unmute yourselves and say, I really want this. Now's the time to do that. Okay, so before we go into hands and face then, I do want to do our least favorite core building and pelvic floor exercise. So we're going to sit on the edge of our chair here and make sure that our heels are placed right underneath our knees. And then we'll grab onto the base of the chair. And whenever you're ready, we're going to inhale that pelvis up to the ceiling. Keep the chin stuck to the sternum. Take it as high as you can. And whenever you need to exhale, roll through the spine, vertebrae by vertebrae, and slowly come back down onto the chair. And then coming up again, using your own limits as a paradigm, okay? Inhale as parameter, not paradigm. Up towards the ceiling. And then lower down onto the chair. Inhaling up. We've got 2 more to do. I believe in you. Last one, let's make it count. Inhale, up to the ceiling. And exhale all the way down. All right, shake out the arms. And I actually am going to add one more thing in here that wasn't on my list because I think for some reason it just came to me. We're going to just go with it. I want you to go ahead and take the right ankle and place it on top of the knee here. And just go ahead and compassionately work on that knee. Okay, not too hard, not putting too much pressure, but just kind of opening up that hip flexor. Just bring it in. And then without breaking, remembering that sensation of the swaddle board to our back, place your hands here on the front of your calf and see if you can't fold your body just a centimeter over the leg here. So we're not folding like this. It's not about a full body bend. It's really just about taking that swaddle board and folding it just a centimeter over that leg. And you should feel this whole area here as it lengthens. The glutes around that hip there. Remember, there's nowhere to arrive at. There's no destination, nothing to achieve. It's just really feeling into our bodies. And coming back to a straight spine sitting position. You can uncross that leg, and then we're going to try the other side. Crossing ankle over knee. Again, really just working to open up that hip. You don't have to flex over at all. If this is all you do, that is perfectly fine. Just working on opening that hip ever so slightly. And then whenever you're ready, feel that swaddle board on your back and fold your body over just a centimeter or so. Really feel the way it lengthens all of those tiny muscles that tie into the base of your spine.
Completely different experience. Much tighter than what.
And then come back up, center, and cross those legs. And let's just I'm going to do a new hand one, and I want you to tell me what you think, if you like the hands that we do on a regular basis, or if this one is nice to kind of weave in there, okay? I'm going to come here, clasp the hands here together, and then turn them inside out and push the palms away from the body. Okay, really reaching it, sitting up nice and tall. And see if you can raise those arms up to the ceiling, keeping that core nice and active. Shoulders are down. And then bringing it back here. Go ahead and bring the hands in and drop the shoulders. And let's try that one more time. Go ahead and extend them out and palms away from the body. And on an inhale, Bring those arms up, drop those shoulders so that they're not up around your ears. Lengthen through the back of the neck. And come back down. Fold them in and drop those elbows. We'll do it one more time, okay? Go ahead and open those palms out towards us, towards the screen. And inhale, raise those arms up to the sky. Keep those shoulders down. If those shoulders start to rise, you're at your limit. And if this is where you're at, that is so perfect. Don't you worry about it. Just reaching for it. And then come back down and fold those hands in, dropping the elbows. And shake it out. Ooh, that was a big one, huh? Okay, so the face yoga that I learned, okay, it's an interesting one because what it does is it drains this area. So as we're going into cold season and we may start to feel like stuffed up, or, you know, we get the kind of seasonal allergy. You know, you can see how I have like some circles under my eyes. There's this thing that we can do with our face, which is a stretching of this area, stretching almost, not of the sinuses, but of all of this area here. And so it's you would stretch the face in that, and then you would release it. So you can choose to do this or not, but it goes like this. And then a release. And then a release. And the interesting thing about it is that if you do this for 2 minutes, all of this area will get red, which means it's sending, your body's sending blood there to create circulation. So it definitely works. If you start to have like sneezy, snotty, and you want to be able to work through that, it's just like you're trying to take this forehead in. Okay? And then the other one is this. I know, Gail, you're laughing. It's hilarious, isn't it? So, but this one is actually really interesting. You will see it, what it does is it tightens this area, the skin around this part of the jaw, and it creates more muscle tone here on the lips. And so it does refine the jaw in some way. And if you do it for 2 minutes to one side and 2 minutes to the other side, you'll feel it. I mean, there are muscles in there working, okay? So I want to teach that to you. We're not going to do it in class. It's something for you to think about if you want to do it in your own personal practice. But Kay asked for it, and I've been reading, so... So let's see, I hear that somebody has their microphone on. Did you want to ask for something particular, Kay?
I thought maybe a few twists.
Let's do a twist, and then let's drop into our closing of the practice. Okay, thank you. Thank you for reminding me on that. Okay, so here we're going to, if you have something that you can put between your legs, great. If you don't, it doesn't matter. It's really just to activate the core. Grab it with your knees or your inner thighs. And then placing the back of the left palm on the outside of the right knee. We're going to use that arm to leverage ourselves as we turn towards the side. Keeping both sits bones firmly placed on the chair. Let's take that right arm and inhale it up to the sky. then exhale, let the arm fall back behind the chair as the chin seeks to reach out over that right shoulder. Lengthen up through the spine here, and if you need a little bit more, you can also wrap the hand around the back. Each of these options will give you a uniquely different stretch. So try both and see what you like, see what feels good. Let each inhale take you deeper into the twist, releasing any tensions. And then inhale the head back to center. And unravel those arms. Do any kind of shaking out you might need to do before we go on to the other side. And let's take the back of the right palm now and place it on the outside of the left thigh. Use that arm to leverage the body so that you're turning to the side here. Sitting up nice and tall, lengthening through the neck. Let's inhale that left arm up to the sky. And as you exhale, let it fall down behind the chair. The chin is reaching out over the left shoulder. Legs are active, back is nice and long. And again, you can fold the arm behind you if that works for you. I encourage you to try both and see what feels good. Take one more long inhale here as you let the exhale release all that needs releasing. And inhaling the head forward. Go ahead and unravel the arms. Whew. Okay. Go ahead and sit back into your chair, or if you'd like to lie on the ground, we're going to slip into the relaxation part of today's practice. Shavasana is perhaps the most important part of each practice. It allows us to open space for our daily practice to take shifts and moves and create changes on a cellular level. And so as you settle into this role of the witness, simply allow your attention to perceive the body as if you were watching from outside yourself. And observe all of the subtle shifts that have occurred since we started the practice today, since you awoke this morning, and even that which is currently shifting and changing within you. And take your attention to the toes, And allow that attention to appear in the form of a light. Allow this light to be any color you wish, and the first color that appears in the psyche is the correct color. And watch as that attention illuminates, dancing through your body, weaving in and between all of the muscles and ligaments, the tiny nerve endings, each and every cell. And everywhere that light touches simply lets loose as you sink deeper into this profound state of awareness, into the here and the now. Let that light roam freely as it graces each part of the body, calves and the knees, and the thighs, and anywhere you observe tension, allow that light to expand and grow. Allow it to release any residual. Let that light kiss the hips and the pelvic floor and all of the vital organs, giving them gratitude and compassion. As it weaves through the side body and releases any tension in the lower back. Feeling supple and loose. Notice the way the light illuminates the shoulders and the arms, the forearms and the hands. As it weaves in and between all of the vertebrae. Lengthening up the spine and finally resting at the base of the cranium. Embracing all the tiny muscles in the jaw and the face. And finally, each and every hair follicle. As you notice that the entire body is now encompassed with this light. This light that is you, your being, your strength, your stability. And then notice it's also tied to something much bigger than you, and that you are not alone. And so you rest in this blissful awareness. Knowing that this state is always available to you. And slowly bring this peaceful awareness back into the body. As you begin to wiggle your toes, hands, and body. And slowly make your way back to center. Whether it's sitting or lying, it does not matter. To close today's practice, I'll sing a chant, Om Namo Gurudev Namo. You're welcome to sing with me or simply rest in the vibration and the sound of my voice. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Satnam, ladies and gentlemen, for coming and practicing with me today and sharing in this wonderful holistic practice that helps us integrate the mind and the body and the spirit and the heart into our everyday practice. May you carry this practice with you on throughout your day, throughout your week, and throughout your life. Namaste.
It was terrific, Stephanie.
And